Hey everyone, Scotty Oka here, and guess what? I'm gonna be doing my top 5 most disappointed RPGs I've ever played. In under 5 minutes! Well, 5 minutes or under, I should say. Basically, the rules are simple. Each game gets 1 minute, and 1 minute only for me to explain why I did not like it. If for any reason I end up going over a minute, this is what will... Number 5. Oh, Final Fantasy, I can never complain too much about you. Well, you had a lot of good games, but you seriously had some pretty shitty ones. And right now, for this one, we're going to be talking about the prequel to Final Fantasy VII, none other than Final Fantasy X. The reason why I really did not like Final Fantasy X was because of Tidus. And really, he's the main reason. If you look at the game as a whole, the concept of the game works. Except for the Blitzball, but I'll complain about that too. Basically, Tidus just does nothing but whine, and he's really just a useless protagonist. Overall, I really did not like the game, mostly because of Tidus. Sure, other aspects of the game may not have been the best, but they would have worked if they had a stronger protagonist. Seriously, Tidus, just no. And the Blitzball was really difficult, even though you have like an ace player. Seriously, what the hell, game? Number 4. Okay, I'm gonna add a Bethesda game to this list. Why? Well, let's just say that even though I'm not much of a Bethesda player, I did try out some of their games, and there was no other game I really wanted to try out even more than Fallout 3. Now, the reason why Fallout 3 was such a disappointment was because, really, I easily got lost, which was actually a complaint of mine for Final Fantasy XII. I got lost so often that it no longer became fun. Not just that, I also get motion sick during games, and when I switched over to third-person view, my god, the character model was so ugly. I was like, nope, back to first person. And 5 minutes later, I actually had to pass the controller to someone else to play while I left the room, just so I can recover. Pretty sad, isn't it? Number 3. Tales of Xillia would have actually made the list, but considering I now play both storylines, Tales of Xillia is actually a really good game. Now, considering that, it doesn't mean the Tales series is left out. Nope. For me, my most disappointing Tales game is actually Tales of the Abyss. The main reason is actually for the same reason as Tidus in Final Fantasy X. Lucas just... what the hell, man? Even though he's a fairly competent fighter, he's still a kind of a whiny brat. And that really annoys me. So much so that when he committed genocide, I just could not forgive him for that, as the player. In fact, it made me dislike the game even more after that. I was actually hoping for some sort of closure, but in the end, I just get, well, this scene. Seriously, is that Luke, or is it Ash? Number 2. Okay, to some people, this may not seem very much like an RPG, but to me, it has a lot of standards of an RPG. Leveling, exploration, etc., and even choices. I'm talking about Infamous. Now, Infamous Second Son actually is my favorite Infamous game of the trilogy. Why? Because Delsin was such a cool main character, and he had really good support, despite the fact that both evil and good side didn't have very much of a difference in terms of cutscenes. The relationship between the brothers, as well as his relationship with everyone else, really worked, and that's why it was my favorite. But I'm not talking about that one, I'm talking about Infamous 2. Infamous 2 was just covered in glitches and bugs, so much so it actually crashed my game several times during side missions, and in order for me to get 100% trophies, I need to complete all those side missions. Great job, Sucker Punch! Thanks for giving me such a glitchy-filled game. And number 1. Oh, you think I was done with Final Fantasy? Not by a long shot. We're talking about Final Fantasy XII this time. The reason why I was really disappointed with 12 was only because of the battle system. I really like the characters, even though I really miss Yuri Lowenthal. Seriously, I never hear him anymore. And, well, the summons. The battle system just did not work. They were trying to make an online experience offline to those players who could not afford 11, but for me, it was just nothing but a hassle. It probably would have been the best, and I do mean literally the best, Final Fantasy if 12 would have used 10's battle system. But not just that, but the whole leveling system was a bit wonky for me. not exactly something that I really enjoy doing, and because of how wonky the leveling system got at times, it made me kind of question whether or not the game was even competent to begin with. This is my top 5 most disappointed RPGs. I hope you enjoy this, and if you have any other game you kind of think I left out, or what games do you think were disappointed that were RPGs? If you can think of any, leave a comment down below. Thank you to those who might be watching on Twitch, or on YouTube, maybe even Facebook. And until then, catch you later everybody.